For those of you who don't know me, I'm Dr. Leora Cherney, and I am the director of the Center for Aphasia Research and Treatment here at the Shirley Ryan Ability Lab. And I am so pleased to welcome you all to this third special session event that we're holding for this month. This afternoon, in celebration of National Aphasia Awareness Month, we have two special guests, and they are joining us from Denver, Colorado. John and Joan Wories are ambassadors for aphasia. They're going to share with us their unique perspectives and experiences about living with aphasia. First, we're going to hear from John. And there are so many wonderful things that I could tell you about John, but I don't want to spoil his story. I'm going to let him tell you his story himself. After we've heard from John, we're going to have some time for some discussion, because you may have some of your own comments and questions that you might want to share. And then after that, we will hear from Joan. So without further ado, it is really a great honor for me to turn things over to John. I think Anne is going to share John's slides. So we'll just take a moment, and then John, it will be all yours. You'll have the floor.
Thank you. John and I are honored to be with you for Aphasia program today. I'm looking forward to sharing some of my thoughts about my stroke journey. That said, we had no clue what aphasia was. Please allow me to read my notes. My recovery is a work in process. The easiest way for me to share my journey and milestones is with pictures and words. Who I am, when did it happen, and how did it do? How am I doing? My wife, Joan, and I have been married for 45 years with 3 children and 11 grandchildren. I was an executive in the rail industry in North America with largest components from the freight cars, castings, wheels, bearings, etc. Globally, approximately 7,000 employees worked for my company. I traveled regularly around the world, North America, China, India, Russia, Ukraine, Mexico, and Brazil. Whenever there are freight cars in the world, Amstead Rail is involved. I was the president of Amstead Rail, also known as the boss or the coach. I retired with over 15 plus years under my belt. Where did it happen? My journey started on Friday, June the 12th, 2020. It was a normal day. The day started with a 5K run, training for my first marathon and doing some work. In fact, my boss and I were discussing my replacement, since I was planning to retire in a few years and planning a dinner with my friends. In the afternoon, I was having a stroke. Over dinner, guests had just arrived. Our guests heard sirens in the background. My family told me that I was in a medical coma for a few days before they woke me up. When I woke up, I was in the hospital in Denver. I had no voice. I was not able to write anything down. I could not walk or talk. It was on Monday morning that a speech therapist was able to get me to count to 10. By the afternoon, I was able to count to 20. My family was excited about my improvement. Over the next few days, my wife taught me to repeat her name, Joan, I love you.
This one's
Over the next few weeks, my family brought me familiar things like photos, games to jog my memory. I was able to I was able to play backgammon with my wife. We had been playing backgammon for games for approximately 46 years, and I was able to remember the game again. The other game I started to remember is Pinochle and how to organize the cards. As I was learning to talk, my go-to phrase was suffice it to say over and over and over it again. Wow. Then my company and my family flew me from Denver to Chicago to rehab of Shirley Ryan. I continued my recovery journey in Chicago with the support of my family, my friends, and my colleagues. How am I doing? I've been an A-type personality all my life. So when the doctor told me it was going to take some time, I didn't realize they meant years. My idea of time was maybe 90 days. When I arrived in Shirley Ryan, I was not able to walk on my own. My physical therapists were able to get me walking again. The speech therapist started with flashcards to help me remember with words and pictures. Here are a few examples to help me again. We would stalk each day with a good and terrible feeling. Hobbies to help remember skiing, backgammon, pinochle. Grandkids to help relearn our grandchildren's names. World map to remember my international business travels. By the 16th or 34 days later, I was made enough improvement by now and was able to use outpatient therapy going forward. That being said, I was improving physically and occupationally, but still challenged from a speech perspective. I carried the Wall Street Journal in the therapy every day, even though I could not read yet, just pictures. Joan shared with me that I was a good faker. Now I make me smile. During my rehab, I was asked to participate in a Shirley Ryan research program that would help other stroke patients. The program took about 18 months, which included an MRI, a series of questions, and progress over time each quarter. I certainly completed the research program as well. As I progressed in our patient care, my family wanted me to participate in the intensive aphasia program. I was resistant. However, after much encouragement and meeting with Dr. Edie, I gave in. The intensive aphasia program began in October 2020. Due to COVID, I attended to intensive program via Zooms for 6 hours per day over 3 weeks. My computer background was helpful to assist in my recovery. That journey started on the couch for days on end, listening to sounds like ah, zzz, shh, zzz, and try to discriminate the sounds and words again. Eventually, I could connect a few words. That being said, I was exhausted on just a few words. The amount of energy it took, an amount incredible. The intensive aphasia program is one personality program. However, each day we had a community time to meet with 2 other men who had head strokes. By the end of the 3-week program, we had building on conversations and encouragements to each other. The intensive aphasia program was a key milestone for me to overcome my emotions, my fear, and my anxiety. Today, I am confident. I am also determined to improve more each day. At the end of the day, it was worth it. It's hard to comprehend the intensive aphasia program changed my life. God is good, with more to come. Excuse me. A few closing thoughts. Every journey is different. It's all about people, faith, family, friends. What a big part of my recovery. Faith, I read every day the Bible for twofold advantage. First, hard to read, more difficult words to speech therapy. Secondly, an eternal dividend. Family, with my loving wife, my 3 children and spouses, and my precious 11 grandchildren. We have been blessed beyond measure. Friends, one of my key words for my journey is an encourager. There is no long list of friends and colleagues who have helped me navigate this journey. Paul Limbach, the Vice President of Operations with Hampstead Rail, is a colleague, a dear friend, and a confidant during my journey. Everyone needs a special friend to help navigate what's a new norm looks like going forward. Paul was always there for me, for business, for advice, and for personally. As my brain healed, Paul helped me. Help me. As Paul helped me through the next chapter of my life. 15 months later, on my journey, I was able to enjoy my retirement party with my friends and family and colleagues. Indeed, it was my first speech since my stroke. With Joan in my side, I very carefully, deliberately read my notes to my family and friends. Now, 2 years later, from where I was to where I am now, wow. There's nothing enough adjectives to explain. Hope, determination, courage, encouragement, passion, thankfulness, thirst for knowledge, and more to come. I practice every day, every week, every month. I am traveling again. I am able to do Zoom calls again with my colleagues. I am able to go skiing again with my grandchildren, albeit a different norm. I am texting and emailing. I am even a greeter at church now. If you're frustrated, take a break for 20 minutes or an hour or even a day. But try, and try again and do it again. But never, never, never give up. It's worth it. It's worth it for you, for your family, and for your friends. The Shirley Ryan Intensive Aphasia Program unlocked my life again. I am thankful for Shirley Ryan and the staff. I am thankful for my family, friends, colleagues, doctors, nurses, therapists, caregivers, and so many others have been blessed my life. It has been a miracle to put my body piece by piece. Piece by piece. God has given me a second chance for my life. My goals going forward, first is being an ambassador for aphasia. Second, practice, and practice some more again. Third, getting my driver's license. Please allow me a short video from where I was to where I am.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13,
Yep.
14, 15, 16,
Dad, you're doing it. 16. What comes after 16? Yep, 16.
17.
Yep.
18.
You got it.
19.
Yep. You know what comes after 19?
Twenty.
20. John?
Yes. So was that the introduction? Certainly, thanking so much for you sharing this journey with more to come. Wow. Thanks so much for your help.